Hi, welcome to my channel. I am Taylor Bradford, and today I have a brand new project that I'm going to start working on. So let's go. So what are we going to be doing? We are going to be building 3 communal tables, which are bar height tables, and I'm gonna take you along with me on this process. First up, we're gonna chat about my notes and also the inspiration behind this and what these tables are initially going to be used for. So let's get to it. So we're doing 3 communal tables, and they are going to match my farmhouse tables. So I'm gonna take you out into the warehouse. I have one of my farm tables set right here. So the communal table will have the same stain color. It will have a similar leg. I actually had legs custom made by a company called tablelegs.com out of the Northeast. They should be arriving soon. I actually just got notification that they shipped. So I have 20 of these, or 21 of these farm tables. One of them's prototype, so it doesn't ever go out, but I have 20 of them that go out frequently, especially in the fall, and I need to recreate this table in a 30-inch width. So the width of this here is 37, so I'm going to change it down to 30, and then it's going to be 8 feet long. And then I have bar stools that just got delivered today, and I've got stuff right here for Cleburne Bridal Show that I have to go set up at tomorrow. But new bar stools out here, and I can utilize them with their backs or without their backs. So they will stack, but they only stack, I believe, without the back on them. So, but I got them ordered. I don't know how many is supposed to be in. Oh, 4 per box. I think I ordered 24 of them. So hopefully that box, I hope, is not too squishy. So anyways, bar stools for these specific communal tables. But here is what is going to be really unique about these communal tables. They are going to serve dual purpose. So what do you mean by dual purpose, Taylor? What I mean is that when I need to use them at a conference, which is where they are going to be debuted, they are also going to have ports in them, USB ports. Okay, so since I couldn't do that one-handed, I had to take a pause. So since I couldn't do that one-handed, I had to take a pause. These guys are my ports, my USB ports. And they are going to sit in the tabletops. Okay, so let's see here. So pretend there is a hole in the table. These guys are going to sit in the hole, okay? And when the table is not being utilized for this particular purpose, there will be a plug on top so that these guys don't have to live in it full time. So what we're doing is creating a dual purpose table. One that can be used just for bar situations, cocktail hour situations, and one that can be used for conferences. So we're gonna have these guys built into the tables, and I've got battery chargers so I can charge the batteries at the end of each day, although they should hold up, the kind of batteries we bought. This is one of the batteries. All the other batteries are sitting at my house that I have to bring in. So this guy is going to sit underneath the table. We have a battery holder. I'm not sure that holder is actually gonna work, but we'll see. And then of course I have lots of plugs because we're going to be using all the plugs. And then I also have all of these fun things. So these will be plugged into the ports, and then somebody can walk up and plug in whatever style of cord they need. So we've got all the different options, hopefully, that one person could possibly need to charge. So we're charging phones and tablets. We're not charging laptops, as that would drain these batteries down a lot more quickly. And battery charger, I think this is this little device right here will tell us how, it's like a battery meter. It is a battery meter, and it'll tell us by just quickly glancing how much juice is left in the battery. So now let's talk about specifics, because that's important. It's been a while since I've done any table building, like quite some time, several years. So I have my drawing, and this gets me a little bit, it's either right at 30 inches wide or a little over. It's close enough. And I'm doing a breadboard. This is the same breadboard that I have on my farm tables. So 3 boards, a 1x12, a 1x10, a 1x12, and then a 1x6 and a 1x10. My legs, like I said, are coming from tablelegs.com, and they are, I believe, a 42-inch leg. This table height will be 43 inches, and my bar stools are bar height, so everything is going to work perfectly. So 30 inches wide, 96 long. This was me trying to figure out all of my math and how many I needed. So I need to pop over to Home Depot and get 16 1x6 by 8s, 5 1x10 by 8s, and 6 1x12 by 8s. I also need to buy a new countersink because I think the ones we have are possibly broken. And I need some more biscuits because that's how I put these guys all together, and some more Craig screws. So it's kind of a mess over here because one of Chad's friends is working on his truck, but at least the big table is cleaned off. I need to vacuum it because I think they were drilling something not too long ago, and there's still metal shavings on top of this piece of cardboard, and I got a piece of metal shaving, see, there's some right there, in my finger last night. So I need to clean all this up. This is where I will be working on building the tables, and I will start with the actual tabletop first. And let's see, what side of the table is, oh, it's gonna be on this side. I need my biscuit, and I think it's this one. Actually, it might be the little one. What is this one? Nope, that's a saw. That is definitely not what I need. This guy. Well, let's move this guy out of the way. This is the tool that I will be using. Once I get my boards cut, I will be using this DeWalt, and this is a biscuit hole cutter. I don't know what the actual technical term is, but this guy lays down like that. So we keep it on 90 degrees. My board lines up here. So this is about the middle, right there on that red line. And your edge of your board is here. This is your middle. And I'll show this because you gotta put lines on your boards so that when you are putting them back together, you line your middle point like right on the money. So then you push, and there's a blade up in here. See it? And it comes out and creates a biscuit hole. Now I've got some biscuits right here. These guys, number 20, and I don't know if I have enough, but we're gonna see. I had 100 pieces. I don't know how many is left in here. It looks like I got a pretty good amount, but I'll probably get another one anyway. So here's a biscuit. I definitely need to get another wood glue. We have wood glue. This is what I use for little projects because it has a really tiny nozzle. But I believe like this has wood glue in it, but this is not functional anymore. So I'm just gonna grab another bottle because we keep a large bottle of wood glue handy for projects. So I just need to get another bottle, but these guys go in the middle. Once I make all of my biscuit cuts, then I put glue in the holes, stick a biscuit in, and I do this about 6 times on one side. And then once I join the boards together, so one board will come to about here in the middle and the other board will match up. So this will hold it together. And then I also, on the edges of the boards, run glue all the way down as well. And then I use these clamps hanging up here on the wall to basically pull the boards together as much as I can get them together. So all that to say, we got to get our lumber. Man, it's so hot outside, there's hardly anybody at Home Depot. I don't blame them. Who wants to work on projects when it's 107 degrees outside? But I have to, so here we are. Okay, first things first, you gotta get a cart so you can put all your lumber on it. Then you come to the aisle with the number 2 pine and where all of the 1-bys live, which is here. Alright, first up is my 1x6, and I need the most of these because we're also using these for my frames. So I need to find 16 of these guys right here, 1x6x8. Alright, I got all of my lumber. Someone came on the aisle, and it's really awkward to film when there's other people and they were trying to figure out their project too. So now I am over in the biscuit area and the Craig tool area. So I grabbed all of the 1 1/4 that they had. That was the size I needed, and I was just double checking what other cool things they offered. I did grab one of these. It easily quick flips for the Craig screw, and it does have, I think, what I need, countersink, but I was actually looking for, these are router stuff. I was trying to find the countersinks. I'm gonna have to go find a Home Depot person, because I looked over here, and which is usually where all the things are. Oh, I found a Home Depot person. Alright, I found some countersinks. I grabbed this Milwaukee one, 964s, because I don't see anything smaller than that. What's crazy is my husband's cousin is singing in the background. You can't really hear it because there's a lot of fan noises, but that's funny. I think we're actually going to listen to him play tonight at Billy Bob's. I think it's his last concert ever. Alrighty, I found what I was looking for. This is a Ryobi set, and I didn't need a super long drill bit. I needed a way to get the countersink part, and this will prevent me breaking drill bits. So this is what I was looking for, and now I think I have everything. all of the materials are bought, and now it's time to go back to the shop and get unloaded and see if I have time to start the first table before we go to dinner. And I have to clean up before I do that. Well, it doesn't look like much right now, but this will be, or this is the beginning of the very first table. But I've run out of time for today, so I will have to pick this up tomorrow after the bridal show. But this at least gives you a peek or a glimpse at what the beginning part of this process is. So my next step will be to cut these boards down to the length that I need. And then ultimately this guy is where all of the ports are going. So I did not want a seam in the middle, which is what I have on my farm tables. And I wanted to be able to put those ports in a middle board. So I end up going with a 1x12, which is this board, a 1x10, and a 1x12. Plus for strength and all of that. So yeah, all of my lumber is in. It's neatly stacked, or it's nicely stacked, sort of out of the way. And then all of my supplies, so more biscuits, and I should not run out of these Craig screws. Here are my countersinks, and more screws, more screws. I got some exterior screws and some construction screws because I couldn't remember what I use to put the frame together before we start using the Craig screws, and then this new toy. All right, when I pick up next, it will be to begin working on cutting that down to size, and then I will begin putting the holes for the biscuits. And I just remembered I did not pick up glue, so I'll have to do that tomorrow. Or pick up more glue, even though I have glue. Anyways, I was able to get started on the tables, but I had lots of company in the studio and in the warehouse, so I didn't do any filming, but just wanted to show what I had done so far. So I went ahead and cut down the first two boards. So this is an outside board, this is the middle board, and I already have the outside board cut. I was just waiting for the glue to dry. It dried overnight, so I can unclamp, flip this guy around, and get it lined up with this particular board, make my middle marks. So here's my markings for me to use my biscuit cutter. And so that is next steps. I have already cut the ends of one side of the breadboard. I went ahead and made my markings so I know where to use my DeWalt biscuit cutter tool. I already have this board cut for the other side of the table, and I need to get another 1x10 and get it cut. So I'm gonna go ahead and get the 1x10 so I can get a 30-inch board cut, and then I will biscuit cut this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy, and then the other piece that goes on the end. That way the first tabletop is completely cut, and it's just a matter of getting everything glued and clamped. And what's nice, I realize I'm using number 2 pine, and it is not the best wood to work with. It's not perfect. It is definitely wavy, but when you add a frame to the bottom of the table and you utilize the Craig screws or any kind of screw, it'll help kind of pull it down and get as straight as it possibly can. So I did get my table legs in. I was
so incredibly excited to see FedEx today because I was a little nervous that I was not going to be able to get them in until next week, but the company I ordered them from got them in, like made them really quickly. So these are custom made and they're fantastic looking. They're very sturdy and they probably weigh, I don't know, 5 pounds. They're pretty heavy. So I am stoked that they came in. And then the bar stools for these tables also arrived this past weekend. And so those guys came out of the crates. Okay, slight panic attack. My assistant has already loaded the other 2 stacks of bar stools into the trailer because we're already loading for this particular event. So pumped that these guys came in. I can go ahead and get my assistant working on getting them stained so they are ready to go once we get them in or get the tables built. And then I'm also just trying to figure out what I'm gonna do for storage, because for the legs specifically. Our regular tables, the legs, because they are not 42 inches tall, fit into the actual tables. Well, I have to build a frame, and you can see the frame of the existing farm. So this is the same setup that we are doing for this particular table, and you can see that my legs ride in the tables. So it makes transporting them and not forgetting table legs really easy. Now, you can see some table legs right here. Those are our cocktail table legs, and those guys do have to ride by themselves. And then also when we do a low profile table, we've got these little shorties that ride separately. So I'm trying to figure out, because these guys are really heavy, they're not gonna be able to be suspended in the table because the width of the table is only 30 inches wide. So I have to figure out another transport strategy. And I looked to find some kind of like under the bed storage that would allow me to put 4 table legs per tote, but so far I've not been able to find a storage tote, a plastic storage tote that is like 43 inches or 45 inches long. So I'm still on the hunt. I might start looking at stuff for like skis, that, although it might be too long. You know, so I'm gonna get with it on getting these biscuits cut, but I gotta get that 1x10 cut first, and then I can start biscuit cutting because I need to get some clamps on so that one tabletop gets done and I can start working on the frame while these guys are drying.